Hey up, Front Row Racing DP here. Continuing on the live stream that I've just ended, so I can test something on Twitch. And with this live stream, basically it'll be down to my viewers as to what I drive, if I get any, that is. But I'm probably going to pick a car to start off with. I have been driving for a couple of hours, but Twitch has been playing up, so I want to just do 2 hour or slightly under 2 hour video, and then see if it's still going to play it up on me. Okay, so in a moment I shall go and pick a car to go and drive. Let's go and see what we've got. I've just been driving this Ford Capri, very interesting car to drive. A little bit tricky in some respects. It didn't like it too much if you get the throttle on too aggressively in second gear. Okay, now I am going to have my my iPad on, so if anyone does want to send messages to me, they are more than welcome to. Let's go and pick a car. What shall we go in? I know. A car I drove a couple of days, well, about 3-4 days ago. The McLaren 12C GT3. It's quite a nice handling car, this. Around Laguna Seca when I last drove it, although I've only driven it the once. Not many liveries available on this one. Let's go with a Von Ryan Racing. Okay, now for some reason on Twitch on my iPad it is not showing as me actually broadcasting, but I know that I am, and I know that I've got at least one viewer, so hello. Just bear with me a moment and then I shall go for a drive. Just me and technology, we don't get on. We don't get on at all. I mean, the amount of arguments I've had with my my PC is ridiculous. I mean, technology is great and all that, but only when it works. When it doesn't work, it's a bloody waste of time. Okay, right, it is now on, thankfully. Okay, so I am going to take this McLaren for a bit of a drive, and then after that, if anybody wants to suggest a car to drive, I will be more than happy to jump in them and go for a blast somewhere, unless I do decide that I am not going to drive that particular car. So the Sonoma Raceway is quite an interesting track, good fun to stitch people up on as well. Excuse me, but I want to take this McLaren somewhere tricky but also enjoyable. Pop a few more laps on. Let's go. Now, for anyone that is viewing, if you were viewing my previous stream, I am not completely up to speed with my ability of driving at the moment, because I have had 3 days away from driving, and it has made a big difference. A big difference. I mean, in a way I would have preferred to have been driving for those 3 days than dog sitting, but dog sitting was kind of enjoyable, apart from when one of the dogs decided, when we went for a walk, they was going to find some fox shit and roll all around in it, and then look at me with a big sort of smile on his face as I say, yeah, you got to clean this. It was not nice. I very nearly got the hose pipe out on him, but there we go. Right, okay, so let's take this McLaren for a quick warm up around the Nürburgring. Now, as far as I know, I haven't done anything to the setup of the car, but I have got wheel settings on, them being Jack Spade's wheel settings that I have applied to all of the cars. I've also done short YouTube video clips of Jack Spade's settings in all of the different classes, and I spoke to him today, and he granted me permission to share those videos with the Project Cars communities. Now, where possible, I'm going to try and not adjust settings on the cars, like setups, although if I do feel a change needs to be made, I will make one, or two, or three, or four. But I'm going to do the usual thing that I've been doing, which is starting the race from the back of the grid. Although, unless I'm at the Nordschleife, where I will park up and wait for them to drive off, at the other circuits I will go for it off the line. Now already I am thinking one change that may need to be made here is the gears. We'll have to see how we get on down the start finish, because well, maybe surprisingly, down the start finish here does tend to be the faster part. Okay, gears definitely need changing. How much are you going to jump? A lot. Okay, and that's even more. Alright, let's be quick. Got 2 minutes to test that gear ratio. At least if I go short, I can still lengthen the actual gears a little bit. Now the gears don't feel too bad, but the front end's a little bit lazy, so if we've got aeros I may need to add a little, or pop some camber on. Thing is, if it's in slow corners that you're struggling for turning, I've got a strange message pop up on my screen. Okay, I've been using Twitch for a few weeks now, and only just as it popped up a message telling me how to end broadcasts. I know how to end the broadcasts. Yeah, in slow corners, if you're struggling for turning in slow corners, your aerodynamics are not really going to help you out a lot. Because aerodynamics are more a higher speed effect. Obviously, more aeros can give you better braking, but if it's turning in slow corners you're struggling with, camber is going to have more of an effect, I would say. Down to second, and it tried snapping the rear out, so I might have to keep it third there. Alright, so I'm going to check these gears. No, I'm not. Yes, I am, because I'm going to restart that. So what I'm going to do while we are here, okay, so we have got aeros, but I'm just going to whack a bit more camber on. Now usually I'd go 5 points, but it's not letting me get into 2.9, so we'll go 2.8 and see how we get on. I mean, if you are going to adjust settings on a car, one of the first things you should do is your gear ratios. Get your gear ratios right, then work on everything else. Get that extra camber, work nicely through those two. Way too late on the brakes then. I was too busy looking at the steering wheel and thinking that's almost like old-fashioned Batman steering wheel slash F1 wheel. I do like these views on the cars. Changing view, mid-corner, not wise. Right, let's check these gears. Probably do with a tiny little bit extra on 6th gear. Okay. Chances are it's going to make them all now too bloody long. If it is, I will put them back and go straight into the race. It's going to be too long. I'm on first gear through those two. I was in second before. You can find as well, if you've got your gears too long, the cars will be too lazy in the corners. Yeah, we're not even going to get to 6th gear. Okay, let's go back to what we just had it on. Then we're going to go into the race. Right, so we started the back of the grid. I think it was 7 or 8 laps I set it on here, so we'll see how we get on. And then after this I shall open it up to the viewers as to what car we drive next. busy down here. Come on, go, go, go. Let's see how many of them turn in on me. There you go, there's one. Ooh, that was a gap that disappeared rather quick. And now he's shunting me off. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can get him to defend it. Nope. Okay, we'll just drive past, although he's going to drive back underneath me if I'm not careful. I've just realised as well, for some reason, we have 60 litres worth of fuel in. I could have done without that. It's going to make the car slower and heavier and lazier in the corners. Big lock up. It's never nice having to get off the brakes as you're heading towards a corner, although you do want to get off the grass. See, the extra fuel has made it very lazy in the corners. But if we were on a fuel usage race, you would have to just deal with that.
Okay, we've got a little bit of pressure from the guy behind, so maybe time to start covering the inside line.
Come on, go right, thank you. Cheers. You can't turn in when there's a car there. Considering how much power this car's got, it doesn't really seem to make a lot of noise. It does seem very quiet. Same lock up again. I was gentler on the brakes, but over the bump it's going light and locking up.
Looks like there's one on your tail. Start defending your position. Cover the inside line and the braking areas.
Where's he going? Right, come on, let's catch him up.
That's your fastest lap so far today.
Okay, solved it this time by braking very hard, and then just as we get to that bump, off the brakes.
Okay, mate, you're on his tail. Let's try and nail him on this
back
lap.
on the brakes
Balls
and
and
get
error. He's under
no
big pressure. You
lockups.
can take it.
Made the corner quite nicely. Although car behind has caught me up.
Trying to get a good run from the last corner. Slipstream past him on the straight.
Thought I was hitting gravel then.
Good
Let's
lap.
let
That's
him
your
pull away
fastest
a
lap
little
so
bit.
far today. Pile under pressure. Come on, keep at him. You're going to get past him.
I'm trying, but with how lazy the car is, with all of the fuel on.
This guy's right on your gearbox. See if you can pull a trick on him and slow down in the middle of the last corner and try and punch away onto the straight and break the slipstream.
Or I could just try driving faster and see if it helps or messes me up. And on that evidence, it's messing me up.
Use your slipstream to get close to him in the straight and try and dive up the inside for the braking.
Oh, you dirty sod. Come on, let's pull away from him. I did not expect him to try and chuck it up the inside there, but he did. Oh, kept the brakes on that time and it did not work. Meant to be gaining places, not giving them away. Oh, it's just going from bad to worse now, Dave. What are you doing?
Driver in front has pulled a 1 second lead. You're still right on him.
Well, I won't say I'm right on him, but hopefully I will be in a moment. Or maybe not. Oh.
Okay, mate, be patient now. You will force an error, so let's just wait for him to make a mistake.
I just can't push it through any of the corners with this amount of fuel on. Because when I try, that happens. Ah dear. Oh, well that did not go well at all. Bloody hell, Scott, what you been smoking? I don't even know what the Lotus 78 would be like around Monaco. The Formula A around there is bloody horrible, but then saying that, the one time I've driven it around there, the amount of steering lock I needed was absolutely ridiculous, which did make me think that there was a problem with my wheel for that particular race. I mean, I was literally having to do 2 rotations to get it round the hairpins. 1, I can kind of understand. 2, ridiculous. 1 rotation for turn 1 was just silly. The thing is, Nacy, with a multi-class race, well, actually it'd be all the old cars in it, I think, so it probably wouldn't be up against the Formula A's. I tell you what, just to make you giggle, let's have a look. See, multi-class, I'm guessing. Oh, so that's cars from all different classes. Jesus. You watch. I'll be the only person in one of these cars. Everyone else will be in like LMPs or Formula A's. thing is, this 78 Cosworth is a beast. An absolute animal. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it round here without any other cars on the track. I mean, normally this is the kind of car I'd say, right, okay, let's go and do some setup work. Let's get the car handling nice. Instead, I'm going to pull out of the pits, head to turn 1, get rammed up the arse end by an LMP1, then get spun round by a Formula A, then get crashed into by a Lotus 49 who ends up on his roof and is still there the next time I get round there and ends up putting me on my roof. Tell you what, Scott, if you haven't got this game and you get this game, the first race you're going to have to do is this. Record it, put it on YouTube and send it me. So, what are we up against? Formula A, okay, bottom of the list. Formula Rookie, Formula A, Lotus 49. Lotus 72s. Okay, so it's not put at the moment. It's not put. It's not put any ridiculous cars in there. Formula A's are going to win it by a mile. I should hopefully be able to beat the 49s. I have tried driving a 49 around here. Geez, the Formula A is huge compared to the Formula Golf. Is that a you can do it in the style of David Spade? You can do it! Well, it's not him that says it, is it? It's another guy. Oh, he's airborne. Can he keep it? He can. Just. Oh. Well done, Harry Hamph. Harry Hamph needs new pants. Dan Theobald, get a bit brave. Oh. I tell you, if the computers are all over the place like this, how do you think it's going to be for me? Interesting name, Esa Niskavara. Alright, come on then. Let's go and see how bad this is going to be. Tyres, warm up and warm up quick. I know any moment I'm going to get rammed up the arse end by a Formula A. on, off the wall. Holy crap. Hopefully he's gone by the next time I get around there. Still got the fuel on. Oh, you son of a bitch. Come on, spin around. And let's see what it's like with its tyres warmed up before I look at changing anything. Come on. You son of a bitch. Not easy. Right, let's get rid of that fuel. I can't see the top settings because someone's notification has come up. See how we get on with that. It looks like grapefruit. It's tricky. Come on, tyres, warm up, warm up. I'd say the steering lock's alright, it's got no front end grip. Come on tyres, warm up so I can find out if we have grip or not. Oh, you sod. Alright, let's restart that. I need to know whether it's actually got grip in the front before I try and go for a race. Come on tyres, heat up. Come on, off my car, thank you. Damn it. Well, I hope you're enjoying this, Scott. Gonna tell you that it's hard work. It's interesting, I expected the rear end to be a lot looser than it is, but it's not, which is actually tempting me to knock some rear arrows off. You stupid, stupid fool. Like there, I want to get my foot down, but it's almost as if he's got too much grip. So instead of just kicking the rear around, it's gripping and pushing me wide. So let's go a bit mental. No, it's still having similar effect. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. One minute the brakes want to just lock up on me, and the next they don't want to do anything at all. Looks like a Formula A. Oh, tried putting quite a bit of brake pressure on and it didn't like it. No, not pit strategy, thank you. "45 seconds left. It's not really long enough to see whether that brake change is going to work or not. I'm just going to have to go with it. Whoa! Thank God it ghosted me there. Still locked up then, but the tyres and brakes are cold. Well, I don't think we did very well for lap times, but let's have a look. Okay, Formula A, Formula Vintage F. So Lotus 98, it's 4 seconds, no, 5 seconds off pole time. Formula B's in 4th. Formula C's. Well, I'm the top 78 Cosworth. Now, have we got any Formula A's behind us? No. Right. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. So, Scott, thank you very much for this. Let's see how bad this gets, shall we?
Try and respect the track limits.
What have I got a corner cut warning for? Oh, there we go, it started already. That had a very good start then. Well, I did for 5 yards anyway. Oh, there we go. Okay, if we spin you round, we might not get attacked from behind. Duck up on this side here, thank you. Oh no, come on, go forwards, fella. Where you going, mate, and stick to it. Ooh, thought I was having that 49 then. Oh, lucky fella. Come on, get round. He's just tagged my rear end. That'll stop me from turning in. Right, how you doing, fella?
Straight to the box at the end of this lap, please.
Oh. This is not a good position to be in. That was a close your eyes and hope that no one comes around the corner moment. To be honest, the handling quite nice. It's just the other cars that are the problem, mainly. On its own. Off the wall. Oh.
Into this lap, box.
I would say the car's probably nowhere near as tail happy as it appears to be for some of the AI cars. Even though I did reduce the rear arrows quite a bit. Didn't steer too much. Oh, give him a boost.
Enter this lap, box.
That was risky. Oh, where are you going? Nice one for it. I'm glad to have helped. Although if you ask the guy that was watching the stream earlier, I don't know what I'm talking about. But there you go. Well, I'm glad I've helped your racing. I don't mind helping people out with their racing. At the end of the day, if it means you get more out of your gameplay, then that's a good thing. Scott, as for you, you're a pain in the backside. That race was evil. But I tell you what, I am going to have a quick smoke break. We'll watch a bit of the replay of that, because although it was evil, it was quite enjoyable. I mean, I had a great start until there. Rammed my teammate. Come on, camera, catch up. Oh, it was my teammate I rammed again. I mean, I was surprised at how nice that car actually handled around my car. I mean, it was tricky, but I've driven it at other tracks and it's been an absolute handful. Oh, shunting. Oh, 49's being trashed at the back there. It's interesting to see the different sizes of the cars as well, though. I mean, you don't really get to see how big or small some of these cars are until they're next to each other. I mean, you see how fat the rear tyres are on the car I'm in there compared to all of the others. And they are thinking about doing that rear left one, going back to really big rear tyres. And I think they should. Now, I'll tell you what would have been cool. I don't know if any of you had ever seen it before, but when there was the JPS Lotus that had had 4 front wheels. And the rookies are tiny, yeah. It surprised me how small they are. I mean, the front tyres on my car are bigger than the rear tyres on the rookie car. But also, the first time I actually stood next to a rear left one car, it surprised me just how big they are. I mean, here's a little fact for you as well. There's 2 meters of Formula 1 car in front of the driver. When you put that's a lot of car in front of the driver. And you've got another, 2 meters behind. So they're a good 4.5 meters long, if not longer. Now, I do want to see the crash I had on the replay, where I binned it big time. Alright, Luke, how are you? Oh, I hit the wall, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, so how close was I here? Oh, that was close. That was really close. Oh, wrong one. You can guarantee he crapped himself. You're right there. Any closer and that'd have been contact. Right, if any of the viewers would like to pick another car for me to go in, or perhaps I'm half tempted to do another one of these, you know, but perhaps at a different track. Thank you very much. more F1. I don't mind doing the classic F1s. I'm not a big fan of the Formula A. But I tell you what, I might do. Dubai is it's a tricky track. It depends on which version. I know the like the Formula Gulf on Korea mode. The Formula Gulf first races at the Dubai circuit, I struggled first time I did it. For some reason the car just kept spinning on me into turn 1, and then the hairpins a little further round. Now there is a version of the track that I've only driven on once, which is a really tricky track. But if it is the Korea ones that you're struggling on, I will go to those. I will go there. I do love how these old cars sound. You know, it's a bit of a shame though that I was trying to boot it and get the rear end out around the hairpin down here in the warm-up, but it wouldn't have it. Every time I tried it, it just pushed me into the wall. Now on Codemasters F1 games, I love drifting the cars around those particular hairpins. It's not fast, but it is fun. Oh. So as I already said, F1, Jules, Jussie, so I'll go to, or Lucy, so I'll go with the F1 guys. I'm not a big fan of the go-karts, I haven't driven them much. I've only driven the supercar a couple of times, but I might do that afterwards, we'll see. Okay, I'm going to come out of this replay now, and I'm going to jump into the 98T Lotus, because I do like that car. And we'll go to Dubai. Actually, let's change view so that I can see the layouts. Okay, this one with its horrible little chicane is a right nasty track. This longer one, I mean, it's not too bad. That one also has a tight little Mickey Mouse chicane in it. Okay, that's one of the career ones, so we shall go there. We'll go in the Lotus 98T. Now, for turn 1 around this particular track, I found that going down too many gears was not good. In the Formula Gulf, it's better to do it in 4th gear than it is to do it in 3rd. Going down to 3rd, and it was just lighting up the rear end and trying to spin me. Also, turn 2, if this is the version I'm thinking of, turn 2 is quite a tricky corner. It kind of tempts you to go very fast into it, but I found braking early and making sure you clip the apex curb means that you can then go flat out onto the kink right onto the straight. But we'll go out on track and see which version we're on. Oh, I've not done the fuel. Right, let's go again. Now usually I spin it out of here with a little too much throttle in the lower class cars. Now in this particular car I'll probably be alright third gear. Oh, it's not the version I was thinking of. Usually, yeah, when you go right after turn 1 in the Formula Gulfs, keep it in a higher gear. Now this version's a tricky one because of this long right-hander, and the trick is to make sure your car's in this position so that you can clip the apex and carry the speed round. Some of these longer corners are very tricky to get braking points right. Sometimes it's better to not brake and let the car slow itself down. Well, not necessarily not brake, but pick your braking very wisely. This hairpin's a right evil little sod. All Formula A's will let you go for now till the tyres are warmed up anyway. Now the corner we're coming up to, again, it's a very tricky corner, but don't brake too late and wait until you're around here to make your last downshift to take the line through the corner. So yeah, don't brake late for this corner. And even in this car I'm going to be going for it in 4th gear. I need these front tyres to warm up. I was looking at a notification on my screen then. Formula A next to me, I think it is. There he is. Come on, front tyres, warm up. We've done a few laps now, you should be up to temperature. Oh, I couldn't do much about him when the tyre's cold. But braking and turning just isn't quite right. I'll have to reduce the tyre pressures. Right, let's go and reduce those tyre pressures. Hopefully that will help with front temperature. I'm going to increase the front downforce a little bit as well, and the front camber, just to try and all help for grip on turning, and leave the rest of them as they are. Okay, couple of messages. Epic Elephant, hello, how are you? Okay, right, yeah, this is quite a tricky track because of the long corners. Luke, am I online? No, I'm racing against AI cars at the moment. Cheese. I'm on a wheel. I'm on a Thrustmaster T300. Apologies if I don't answer messages while I am actually on track. I've got my iPad next to me. I tend to concentrate on what I'm doing on track while I am on track, and get to the messages when I go back to the pits or finish a race. Drive a small Ferrari. Sadly, there isn't any Ferraris on the game. If there was, I would happily drive one for you. I don't know whether Ferraris will be coming out on a DLC at any point, or whether they are licensed to other games. Okay, front end is already feeling better with those changes that I've made. I probably haven't got enough time to actually get the tyres up to temperature and bang some laps in. But from the experience I've had around this track, early braking, good gear selection makes all the difference. For the long sweeping corners, braking late doesn't really work for you. Now in this car it is quite tricky around this track because of the nature of the corners. It's either in turbo lag range or at such speed that it wants to try and spin you. Okay, is this game worth buying? I would say yes. I mean, I'm on a PS4 and it's definitely the best driving game that's been brought out on PlayStation at any point. I mean, I am a big F1 racer on PlayStations. I mean, I still do think that the F1 cars on the Codemasters Formula 1 games do drive better than the F1 cars on here. I've not played Forza or anything on Xbox. I've tried a couple of games on PC, but it's tended to be a quick blast on a friend's PC, so I've not really been able to get my teeth into it and really find out what they're capable of. But this is a very, very good game. There are a few issues with it that the game makers do need to fix, but I do believe they are on the case. Need for Speed or this? No doubt. Don't even bother with Need for Speed. I mean, I haven't bothered with the Need for Speed game since Shift 2. Now, the Shift games sounded great, but drivability, playability were terrible. This is a much more complete all-round game, much better.
Green, green, green.
Okay, where are they all gonna go? Where are they all gonna go? Let's go through this gap here. onto that curb just as I was hitting turbo was not nice. Actually had a good start then. Yeah, for this corner you want to make sure that you are out in this position before you turn in for the corner. Makes it a much faster corner. Don't be afraid of taking wide entries in to these either. Can give you a good line out. So we've got a Formula Golf fighting with the Formula Bs. That's too late, it's too late. Oh no, we're going to make it. For this hairpin, definitely don't brake too late. Don't be on the brakes when you turn either. Don't get too aggressive on your downshifts. Either one of those can make it spin. Now with this car it's very difficult to really power it out of the corners, especially if I'm in second gear. There's just too much power. Probably better keeping it in first, and then the gear change be less aggressive than just booting it in second. And for this corner, in the smaller cars, do it in third gear, use a bit of curb. This car was a handful around here. It may sound like I'm going very, very slow, but I am pushing it. Just having to be very selective about throttle usage, what gear I'm in. Oh, get off the curb, come on. I wanted a off-board view where it showed the steering wheel, but there isn't one, annoyingly. This really is a tricky car for this track. Didn't go down. Right, I'm now going to try, because of how tricky it is in the lower gears, what I'm going to try and do is keep throttle on a bit while I'm on the brakes, in the hope of avoiding turbo lag too much. Too tight, go, go, go. I've just noticed, I think my wheel stand is fairly busted. I just realised, I mean it's all bolted together, but I've just realised it can move, the wheel can move forward a good 6 inches, which isn't too much of a problem, because when I drive I tend to actually subconsciously pull the wheel towards me. But what it does mean, if we get into a big sort of tank slapper moment, the wheel has the potential of moving about a lot, and you do need a wheel stand that is very solid, I would say, so that you don't get any false inputs on your hands, so to speak. I mean, if your wheel feels like it reacts to that you think is happening to the car, but actually it's not, it's your wheel stand. Oh, it's interesting. I've driven this car around the Nordschleife, and around there it's absolutely bloody lovely. Around here, much trickier, simply because of the nature of the corners and whereabouts in the rev range it's putting me through those corners. Through that corner, I'd love to be much more on the throttle.
End of this lap, box.
But I know if I do, it'll get into the turbo too aggressively in second gear and just kick the rear end out. I mean, once it's in turbo, it's not too bad, but it's when it goes from being in turbo lag to actually getting the turbo going, it'll just kick out. Thank you, Matt Elliott. I appreciate it. I have noticed there is some of the messages. I will get to them in a moment. It is difficult for me to read the messages while driving, especially driving this car. Now for this corner here, what I'm trying to do, once I go around that left kink, is give it a little dab of brakes and then let the gear changes slow the car down. Similar to this corner. If you can do that, it's much quicker, but if you downshift too soon, you will spin the rear out. I mean, in some of the lower class cars, I mean, that left hander we've just been round, it's a flat out corner anyway, once you've got it initially slowed down. It's always hitting in them.
End of this lap, box.
End of this lap, end of the race, so I'm not going to box, too late on the brakes. Okay, booted in second. Whoa. See, that's what happens if you're too aggressive in second gear in this car. But that track, it's a lot like one I was talking about a few days ago, where you're better off not going too aggressive into the corners. Okay, let's catch up with some of these messages. Need for Speed is more pure arcade. I mean, me personally, I'm not into the sort of the arcadey races or anything like that. I mean, when Need for Speed were doing sort of their street racer, I never got into that game, but when they brought out their track racing games, I used to get them, and then I don't know, just not drivable enough. Scott, have a great night at work, mate. Glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure you'll pick us another cruel car at another point, but have a good night at work. What track is this, Booty? It's Dubai, one of the versions at Dubai. Quite a tricky little track. Nathan, hello, how are you, mate? Big failed. Well, to be honest, I mean, that car around that track, it's weird because, I mean, like I say, I can take that car around the Nordschleife and be fairly aggressive with it, but the nature of those particular corners and the turbo on this car was very, very tricky. I mean, if I was going to too right, Booty. If I was going to play about with setups, I would probably turn the level of boost down on that car, so that when it did kick in, it was not anywhere near as aggressively powerful.